Tracking when our blizzard will end, I'm ABC 10's Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods in Northern California out of Sacramento, and we have had a huge storm hitting this year, and not so much for the valley, but in terms of our snow, it's been the biggest storm of the season so far. A view across the region, eastbound I-80 has been closed for much of the day, in fact, much of the weekend. I-80 at Applegate down the hill, we've got trucks that are just waiting to get the word everything's open and they can pass up over the summit there. Highway 50 at Myers, periodically we've seen some slow travel, everything kind of quieting down somewhat here along Highway 50. That's out of South Lake Tahoe, by the way. Most of the ski resorts were closed this weekend. However, there's still a lot of people that recreate in that region. You can see one car moving very slowly there and a couple of cars trying to make their way around the curve there. Highway 50 at Camino, we saw snow down to about the Camino level, and then traffic moving fairly smoothly at that elevation, but we've had about 5 to 8 feet of Sierra snow, only about a ½ inch to an inch of valley rain. That just shows you the stark differences in this weather system as it's hit particularly hard the Sierra. For the valley, we've seen periods of heavy rain and a couple of isolated thunderstorms as well. But the back edge trying to move its way through as we make our way through our Sunday. But you can see for the Sierra, it is still snowing. So Caltrans, which is mainly going to be clearing the roads, having a tough time to just kind of keep up with the amount of snowfall. They've periodically had some of their snow blowers down because it just is, getting tired from moving all that snow around. As far as the parent low, it's up to the north of us here, so we're starting to see some of that clearing coming in off the coast. The one caveat is that we do have another weather system right behind, so really all of the impacts for the Sierra are going to be lingering because it's just we're going to have a tough time clearing out of the feet of snow that we've seen. And then we're going to get one right behind it. That one not quite as potent as what we've been seeing here over the course of the end of last week through the weekend. Nonetheless, we still have more on the way. Let's finish out this storm system, though. Blizzard warning continues until midnight for the Sierra. That could expire early, but right now it looks like it is going to continue until midnight. As far as our winter weather advisory, that goes in through 4 a.m. Monday. Now, that was expected to expire at 10 p.m., but now the National Weather Service saying we're going to have to keep that in place until 4 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Avalanche warning, by the way, also in effect through Monday morning. That's mainly south of Highway 50 along 395 through almost Bishops here, affecting mainly Mammoth Ski Resort. But we've seen some periods of some snow kind of caving in on some of those roadways, even along Highway 50 towards the Tahoe Basin. We did have a little bit of a slide that closed that road for a short period of time. Our winter storm warning on the heels of that blizzard warning will take an effect, and that will continue until Wednesday at 4 a.m. That includes areas north of I-80 all the way over towards parts of the coastal range. So the impacts are going to linger. Like I said, it's going to be tough to dig out of this particular snowstorm because on the heels of this, we get another one in store. So all of the snow plowing efforts are going to have to be working overtime here. Here's a look at our futurecast at 11 o'clock on our Sunday evening. Still looking at widespread snow showers throughout the Sierra. Much less in the way of wet weather, though, for the valley and the foothills. This is going to be about our best picture that we see here in terms of snow and some pockets of clearing. This will happen Monday morning in that 80-50 corridor, and then we get right back to it. So we'll see periods of on and off snow continuing, mainly along 80. Really, this next weather system starts to impact us north of I-80 into our Monday. Some spotty showers developing during the evening hours, and that will take us through our Tuesday with a higher impact day developing. We kind of needed this snow, though, to be honest. Our snow water equivalent was running about 80% of average for the northern Sierra, and that's jumped up to 97% of average, 80 for the central Sierra and 76 for the southern Sierra. That's going to bring our statewide average to date at 84%. Some really good news there. Just last week, we had our third snow survey of the year, and you can see our statewide average was at 80%. At Phillips Station along Highway 50, 77% of average. Now, we knew this was going to jump up big time, And it was just kind of interesting timing that we usually have that snow survey the first of the month. That happens to be a leap year, so February 29th would normally be March 1st. So kind of to keep those statistics consistent, they did that on February 29th. And to get ahead of also the big storm that was coming in, they actually had to move that up a couple of hours just so that they could do that snow survey safely for the third of the year. Precipitation totals are looking better and better each time we come back to this. From time to time, we've seen those averages below, but right now throughout the center part of the state and along the coast, we're still running above average. Lake Tahoe, though, in terms of sheer precipitation, we're still below average, believe it or not. However, after this latest storm, it's very likely those numbers will jump up as well. Take a look at some of these snowfall totals, and we'll take it 24 hours at a time. I will say this, these Sunday morning numbers are just reflective of about 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, we've been seeing a lot more snow come our way, so the totals will go up tomorrow morning in terms of our storm totals. Boreal with 40 inches of snow reported this morning. Palisades, Tahoe 31, Homewood 42, Snow Lab, that's the Sierra Central Sierra Snow Lab, 24 inches of snow, and then Sugar Bowl along I-80, 35 inches. So Friday, getting anywhere from about 15 to 20 inches of snow. That went up on Saturday morning to about 20 to 30 inches of snow. And then the big stuff coming through Saturday into early Sunday with roughly about 25 to 40 inches of snow, putting those snow totals anywhere from about 5.5 to over 7.5 feet of snow for many places. And I'm very sure by tomorrow morning, we're going to have closer to about 8 feet of snow for some of those resorts. So the active weather continuing. Tonight, we're going to wind things down with that extreme impact, get into Monday with more spotty showers and a brief break in the snow. Great for all those snow clearing activities to make sure that they can do it safely, and also bring online more of those snow blowers so that we can get ready for the next round coming in on Tuesday. I will say this about this Tuesday storm. We have been seeing weather models back off a little bit on how much is going to be coming our way with this Tuesday storm, which actually would be some good news. Allow the opportunity for not only some of our snowplows to get a break from the action, but also our residents too. It's been a very busy weekend trying to keep things safe up there, and also all the power outages. Many people have generators, so it's not quite as much of an issue, but certainly there are people that need to be brought back online there. Let's take a look at how this is all unfolding out in the Pacific. Again, the back edge of this current system moving out. Quite an active weather pattern, though, out in the Pacific. Not all of this is going to be direct hits. As far as our future cast, we'll get some breaks in the action tomorrow. Mostly this is going to be hitting us north of I-80. Certainly seeing the snow showers, though, in that 80-50 corridor all the way through our Tuesday. But that's, like I said, kind of iffy right now. Most of this action is going to be north of us here, and then we've got the lingering showers off the coast, and we're waiting to see how that will play into our Wednesday outlook. Right now, if anything, it's just going to be spotty showers, perhaps no additional accumulation coming in on Wednesday. But in terms of what we're expecting for the rest of tonight through our Wednesday forecast, about 1 to roughly 10 inches of snow for the Sierra, and then about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain coming in through the valley and the foothills. But every time I go back to that, it keeps backing off more and more on how much we'll see. The good thing is, on our 8 to 14 day climate outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, temperature-wise, the cooler weather pattern is going to be hugging the Pacific Northwest through extreme northern California. Then that likely wetter scenario shifting its way off to the east here and through the Pacific Northwest. So again, we are going to be seeing a couple of weather systems come in the pipeline for the rest of this week. On and off, we'll see areas of showers. This particular system kind of rolling its way right along the coast and then in through Southern California for our Tuesday into early Wednesday forecast. Thursday, Friday, we get a break. And then Saturday, we're going to be at it again with the potential of another weather system coming in. We'll get a break on late Sunday through Monday, and then the following Tuesday, a chance of showers returning to the forecast. But again, that likely wetter scenario shifting its way up towards the Pacific Northwest. So an active weather period certainly still in our outlook Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Potential of some Thursday, Friday showers there, but we'll continue to watch that across the hills and for the Bay Area as well. Looking at our 10-day forecast, we stay with an active weather period through Wednesday, then dry Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the way, it's time to spring forward. So we'll see that sunset an hour later, or sunrise an hour later. And then on that following Tuesday, as I mentioned, we'll get that chance of a shower. Make sure you download our ABC 10 Plus streaming app. There we have our whole weather playlist, in-depth forecast just like this, as well as weather specials, including mega flood and water wasted and our California drought series. That is available for free download on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV.